Five of Swords. Yeah. My mind is stone cold quiet right now looking at this card. And I felt called to check the bottom. And it was Two of Swords. And it definitely feels significant as far as just that feeling. Yeah, it just feels like trust the darkness, you know? Because just as present, top it off with a pinch of Oracle, please. Yeah, I was definitely leaning in that direction regardless, low key. Just a matter of if it was going to be a whole thing or just a little bit. But hey, same page. But yeah, this just feels like trusting your darkness, trusting those moments where you don't feel called to do anything, you know, and not feeling like, oh, and, you know, just doing something just because it's silent. Like I said, like looking at this card, like it was quiet. Like my mind, like I said earlier when we were doing the presence practice, it was like, dang, I'm not hearing a thing. I can hear crickets. That's exactly what it felt like looking at this card, which is very different than how it felt looking at the rest of them. So when I check the bottom and I see, you know, like she can't see, but she can't see because, you know, something very divine is blocking her eyes, is covering her eyes and making her not be able to see. So it's like, trust that. Like, if you can't see right now, trust that you're not supposed to be able to see right now. Don't panic. Don't be like, oh, what's wrong? Like, oh my God, am I wrong? Am I disconnected from God? Am I disconnected from source? Am I misaligned? Oh, where did my guidance go? Like, where did my clarity go? And it's like, yo, relax. Things are happening. Things are unfolding. The fact that you're not seeing things may be the message, may be exactly what you're supposed to see. Like, do you as you were. Do what feels right. And if you don't feel called to do anything, be still. That's okay too. Go meditate, go rest, go do anything. But don't get into panic and don't start pushing ahead and just start doing stuff just for the sake of doing stuff or just for the sake of productivity or whatever reasons in which that we get pushed into motion when we don't feel necessarily called to move. And that's just what this message feels like right now. So yeah, trust yourself, trust that flow that you know so well, you know? Like when it's time to do stuff, you know exactly what that feels like. And it's like when there's nothing to do, that's when you're like, what should I do? Like, I feel like I should do this. I feel like I should do that. But it's like all that is born in the mind more than in the heart. Because in the heart, it's not I think or it's not should. It's I'm doing this. I want to do that. I'm going in that direction. You know, it's more pointed, it's more sure, it's less you injecting like force and choosing like I'm going to do, you know, it's kind of just a natural flow that goes that way, a natural flow that goes this way, that brings you over here. It's like trust that, and if that's not there, trust that that's a message too. Trust your darkness and understand that your light is born from it. So if you spend all your time running from it, understand that you won't be able to access all of your light, you won't be able to access all of your magic. So if the call is to be still and understand that, hey, you may be being asked to be still to create enough space for boom, a divine download to come in. Like, here's what we're doing next. It's like, you have to be quiet sometimes. A lot of those things be subtle. It's like you find yourself always moving, and at the point you stop, you're uncomfortable, and then you start moving again. It's like, yo, miracles cannot find you that way because miracles come from darkness. Magic comes from darkness. The divine downloads come in darkness. You know, all that darkness comes first, and then it's filled with light. But if you never allow yourself to settle in that darkness, then your magic and your miracles are going to be hard, far and few between. And I just keep being called back to, you know, in the Bible in the beginning. And they say, let there be light. It's like, that was born in darkness, you know? That means the darkness was there. And it's like, that's the first step. So it's like, you have to become comfortable with your darkness. Especially if you're somebody who really values the light and who's very connected to your light. Like, you have to be just as connected to your darkness and understand that that's where all your light is born from. And that also brings me back to, you know, like experiences that feel, you know, that we feel like are the worst things ever or are traumatic or things that, you know, we've overcome. And it's like, those are the very things that birth a lot of your magic, you know, the way you're able to care for people, the way you're able to connect to others, the way, you know, you're able to make other people feel seen, the way you understand what you need, the creative talents you have that, you know, were really big in helping you heal, all of that. It's like, yo, all that light was born out of the darkness of those experiences. So it's like, if you love everything you are and you value everything you are now, that darkness deserves to be loved as well. And yes, there's things, terrible things that happen. There's things that are very traumatic and things that are very unfortunate as well. But as long as if you're living a life where you were able to alchemize that and you were able to make beautiful things of it and impact other people and engage with other people and be a light in other people's lives off of, you know, I don't want anybody else to ever feel like how I felt, to understand that you have to be grateful for those things. And that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, erase it and, you know, any of that, but it's kind of just like, it just has to be room for it to be embraced and loved just as much as the best things that happen, because all roads led you here. And if you love where you are and you love who you are, then you can't separate that love from those things. And yeah, and the more you try keep those things in the shadow and try to stop from looking at them, understand that you're not accessing all of your energy, you're not accessing all of your magic, because it's all used up keeping these things hidden from you. So the more of those lights you can turn on and open a lot of those doors in the mansion that is you, the more access to all of it that you'll have. So if you're looking for more energy, you find yourself trying to do all these things, but you can't find the energy to do it all, understand that, hey, there might be a lot of your energy being stored up in places that you don't want to look. Because you're very powerful, you know. You can keep things at bay, you can keep those doors inside you locked and all that, but it takes energy to do so. So it's like, if you want more and you want to access more of your magic and access more of you, then it's time to start looking in those places that you don't want to look, in those places you haven't been looking. So yeah, that was a very interesting message, and I wasn't necessarily planning to go there, but it kind of just happened. Hey, Lexi in the building. Hey, dog. And yeah, on the split, I'm seeing death and the devil. It's like, remember, at any given turn, like you are assigned the role of God and the devil in your life a lot of the time, you know. A lot of your experience is based on the decisions you're making, you know. You went that way and, hey, you got results from that. You went this way, you got results from that. You chose to do this thing and not that thing. You know, you chose to engage with this person. You chose to give this person another chance, you know, and those things happen, those unfold. And remember, you're choosing timelines. So it's like, yo, that choice you make unfolds into experiences, you know, especially if it comes to people, like, you know, choosing a partner, a relationship, a friendship. Like, there's all type of experiences that come from you just simply choosing that person. So it's like, you can't now all of a sudden blame them for everything that happens in your life because of it, because it's like, yo, you chose them to be there. No one's forcing themselves in your timeline in your life or anything like that. So it's like, there has to be a certain amount of acceptance to your role that you play in your life. And death, and it's like, yo, at the point you want different, you got to allow these things to die and fall away. But you have the say. As long as you continue to allow them to exist in your experience, it's yours. It's your experience to be had, you know, and there's no one else to blame. There's no forces against you to blame in those cases. There's no, the devil's working against me. There's none of that stuff. And it's like, yo, you know that person wasn't good for you. That's not the devil sitting there making them stress you out. That's not the devil why you don't know no peace, because this person's nothing but drama. It's like, yo, if you want better, get them out your life. Nobody's keeping them there but you. And it's like, yo, you gotta allow these things to die. And it is that deep, you know? The things that don't match who you are and what you're creating for yourself and where you're going, like, you gotta get them out of your experience as soon as you can. I know there's things, you know, it's not as simple as just like, oh, you know, if there's a job you hate, like, it may not be as simple as just quitting. You know, maybe you have to come up with the exit plan and all that. But it's like, the intention to get there has to be there. It has to be like, yo, I'm phasing out of here. Like, so now when the opportunities and the things that come to you to get you out of there present themselves, you can recognize them, you can accept them, you can move in those directions. But if you don't even have like that scope and that acceptance of, okay, this is where I'm going, you won't even be able to recognize those opportunities when they present themselves. And you'll find yourself in the same place, stuck in the same place, because mentally you're just there, you're still there. You're not looking to leave. And especially if you're just like, oh, I'll leave when the time is right. Like, when is the time right? The present is all we got, you know? So it's like, you have to make that decision, like, yo, I'm going this way. And it's like, I'll stay here and do what I need to do, but I'm actively ready to go. I'm actively ready to do this thing. I'm actively ready to do this thing. And I'm actively ready for this person to be out of my life. You know, all these things, and move in those directions, especially as the opportunities present themselves. But yeah, you play a role of all these things, you know. You are the devil, you are death. Like, you have the roles of all these things in curating your life, you know. You get people out of your life. You decide, you know, if you're going to move in the directions that you know is best for you, or you're going to move into those things you know aren't good for you. Those in those directions that have proven and shown you what they are time and time again. You have the say. So that being said, oh, and look, I was just about to say, and then the fool wanted to present itself. It's like, let this be the beginning of a journey. And if you're living right, all these readings should always end in a new beginning for you. Because you're not the same person you were in the beginning. Even if only one thing hit and one thing landed with you, it's like, okay, you have this one more thing in your arsenal now. And it's like, okay, now you have to begin, you got to take that leap of faith again. Because you can hear it and be like, oh yeah, that feels like truth. But then if you leave here and just go back to everything you were doing before, and you just don't actually, you know, dive in and see, nothing will change. It doesn't matter how much you know. And now I'm hearing the thing about, like, knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. But wisdom is knowing that a tomato doesn't go in a fruit salad, you know? It's like, that's the difference. It's like, I could tell you that a tomato is a fruit, but until you go actually eat it and have an experience with it, you won't understand that the true depth of what that means. It's like, oh, like, yeah, this is a fruit, but yeah, this doesn't go in a fruit salad, you know? Like, it just doesn't. So it's like, that's the difference. And it's like, if you leave here and just leave the stuff in the mind, and, you know, it's just stuff you heard, then that'll be, your reality won't change. It takes you being like, okay, like, that felt like truth. Let me go, you know, do some trial and error, you know, when the opportunity presents itself to choose this or this new thing that you heard or this thing that felt like truth versus what you typically would do. Lean in, take that leap of faith, like, let me see, let me go in this direction. And you'll get results back. And the results will be truth and will be proof. And as you continue to do that in small ways at first, if you need to, understand that the proof you get back will become the proof that allows you to make those decisions moving forward and have faith in them and understand that, okay, yeah, last time I took that leap of faith, yeah, I got the results back. I got the proof. I was caught. And it's like, you don't get to that stuff without taking the leaps of faith. Because understand that I can tell you all I want, but the proof of it is in you. Like, the proof of what it looks like for you can only be seen through you. We're all different. And it's like, if you're waiting for these things to be proven outside of you, understand that they never will be. I can tell you all my proof all day, every day, but it's like, at the end of the day, it won't click for you until it's your own, until you see the magic, until you experience the magic, until you experience the unfoldment of how these things go. So it's like, you have to take that leap of faith time and time again. But the choice is yours. So don't sit here and hear all these things, and then at the opportunities to actually see and to take those steps in those directions, you falter and you become fearful and don't take the steps. Because what was the point? Now you wasted your time, you wasted your awareness, you wasted your energy just receiving all these things. Because the truth of it is to be experienced anyway. So allow yourself to be the fool. It's like, yeah, don't be too afraid of yourself, and don't be afraid of your reality, because it's all you. But yeah, so I'm gonna end there. Oh, look, and as I was gonna say that, split back to where we started. Three of Cups. It's like, you're being celebrated, and they're proud. Shit, you're proud. I feel like very heavy emphasis on like future self energy, you know? The version of you that understands how big this was, that understands exactly where you're coming from, the part of you that understands exactly where you are in your journey right now, Like that has the big picture, and it's like, oh, finish line here, or like big achievement here, and then you're right there, and it's like you don't even know just how close you are. It's like this is the version of you that knows exactly where you are right now. It's like, yo, you don't know, you don't understand, but this is your celebration, this is your coronation, this is everything you wanted. And it's like all you have to do is continue to trust yourself and continue to show up as yourself. Keep taking that leap of faith off that cliff. Understand that you will be caught and that you will continue to be caught. And you'll understand that more and more as you continue to do it. And that proof comes as you continue to have faith and surrender. But yeah, this is us right now. This is where we start and this is where we're ending. But that being said, definitely shift into Oracle for some closing energies and closing messages. But yeah, that was the infinite door, y'all. That was, yeah, I really like that. The messages felt very different. The energy felt different, but definitely felt like where we're going and where we are right now. So I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful for all of you guys being here. As I tell y'all all the time, Oracle, oh, first out, I am. It's like, remember, you are infinite. There's no container big enough for you, you know? I am is a complete sentence. And it's like, remember that. There's no boxes big enough. There's no containers wide enough. It's like you're infinite. You're boundless. It's like allow yourself to be that. It's like that's what all this is for anyway. It's like don't allow this knowledge and your knowledge of self and your knowledge of universal flow and wisdom and law and all that to become shackles for you. Because it's all supposed to be for your freedom anyway. So don't allow the very things that are supposed to free you to be the things that bind you and that cause you to feel stuck. Because like, yo, you're infinite and you know you're infinite. So why does the knowledge of you being infinite make you feel small? There's something wrong. There's a disconnect there. So yeah, at every turn, if you find things that are making you feel small or making you feel fearful or making you feel anything less than infinite and abundant, take a look at them, question them, ask why are they making you feel this way, especially when you know that that's not the truth of you. There's a disconnect there, and you have to bridge that gap. And that's very important information. That's revealing to you a shadow. Every time when you feel less than what you know yourself to be, that's letting you know, like, there's something there. There's something that needs to be healed there. So remember, you are. And everything that makes you feel like you're in a box or you're smaller than you, the large, gigantic thing that you are, look at it, question it, and allow those things to be broken apart. Because when you question them, they have no basis on anything because they're illusions. So at the very first question you ask, it's going to start to crumble. The second question you ask is going to crumble some more. By the third, fourth question, it's gone. It doesn't exist anymore because it's not built of any substance. It's a shadow. So remember who you are. And remember that you're everything, literally. And then Virgo at the bottom. And Virgo as a sign might be significant, feel significant. But outside that, it's just like, yo, allow yourself to be human. This is a human experience. And that doesn't mean that, like just, you know how people, I'm just human. It's like, no. If you knew the true magic of being a human being, like, you'd understand that, yes, you are human. That's a very, very big deal, you know? You are where spirit meets physical, meets consciousness, and all these things, you know? It's like, that's a very big deal. Like, yes, there's other physical things out there, but they're not sitting there manifesting. The birds aren't sitting there creating their life and achieving their dreams and bringing things in for themselves and, you know, performing alchemy and all these things. It's like you are where spirit meets physical and all of that. And it's like, yo, allow yourself to be human and enjoy the human experience. You're here to experience. You're here to see your magic. You're here to see what it looks like when you know who you are. You're here to see what it looks like when you don't know who you are. You're here to see what it looks like when you honor yourself, when you show up authentically, what it feels like when you don't. Like, you're here to experience sad, happy, angry, all of that stuff. And it's like, I know we lean into the good emotions and the high vibe emotions as where we need to be, you know. We judge our life by if we're happy or not. If we're not happy, that something's wrong. But it's like, yo, you're here to experience it all. And the beauty of this life thing is seen in the contrast. If you were always happy, that would feel normal. It would would be nothing. It's just like, oh yeah, that's just my baseline. But it's the fact that you are sad sometimes. It's the fact that you spent months sad, that you spent months depressed and all that, that your appreciation, the range of happiness that you can even experience is so grand. Because you know what it's like to not have that. You know what it's like to be on the complete other side of the spectrum. It's like that is the human experience. The contrast is everything. So it's like embrace that and honor the sad feelings, the angry feelings, the anxious feelings and all that just as much as you honor the best ones, you know, because they all go together and you're only able to experience the true depth of any one of them because of the opposite side of the spectrum. But when you know that all roads lead to you, all roads lead to everywhere you're going, then you understand that it's all to be loved. Just like you're all to be loved. Your darkness, your light, your good, your bad, and your ugly is all deserving of the same love. Is all just as perfect. So it's like you're human. Allow yourself to be human. But not in a way that's minimizing, but in a way that's everything. That empowers you. Like, yes, I am human, you know. I am here to experience all these things. I am capable of all these things. And it's like, that's the truth of you. So be that. Hell yeah. Okay, Oracle. Oracle talking to us not real nice today. Always, though. Very, very sweet. I don't know if y'all peeped, but there was definitely a card. I looked at it, ignored it, and just went back to shuffling, and it jumped out. And I figured it would. I don't even know why I ignored it. But yeah, cat. And all these feel significant. Wow. All right, hold on. Let me not get ahead. Okay, so the cards that came out